My name is Paul Finnegan. I am workshop manager here at Finnegan's Farm. Our site here is just outside Navan there in County Meath. I really can't emphasise safety enough on a farm, especially in a workshop situation. Everything moves so quickly nowadays, one split second and the job could be over. So I mean, you really have to be extra safe when it comes to general machinery, just to make sure that you have all your safety checks in place. As regards having all our equipment here, it's fully checked over there, everything from our fire extinguishers, having all them certs in place, having, we'll say, the likes of all our electrical equipment, having it safe. We also have our electrical points there that's kind of around the wall. We have single phase, three phase, and they're clearly all marked. And then everything to do with safety is we have a place for everything and everything in its place. Because at the end of the day, if you know where everything is and you can go and pick it up, you can do it efficiently and you can do it safely. That's probably one of the most important things to have in your workshop. When we come to do anything that's involved in the lifting end of things, we have axle stands which are fully checked over and they have to be certed, as well as all your trolley jacks, and we have air jacks there as well. Again, it's no harm to have kind of the big timber blocks to act as a safety, and having your choke blocks there, wheel chocks there in behind the wheel there, so you have no movement when you're going to do a job in regards to lifting, and make sure you have all the relevant equipment and that it's fully checked over. When we come to do any servicing on the tractors, obviously you're going to have oil there that's involved in that. Now you must contain your oil, have it in a oil reservoir, bring it then. We have a unit there that we can bring it out and we can pump it from that into an IBC, which is fully bundled then. All the other equipment, chemicals and that, we have a chemical store and they're all clearly marked and in store. We don't have any loose cans around the workshop because you never know what's in a loose can, so we make sure that everything is marked, clearly put away, and that's really safe. We have regular meetings there in regard to our staff, just to train them up, because that's probably the most important thing, that everyone knows where everything is and that we know and we can work safely. Our PPE gear is all on site here, so everything we do come into the workshop, whether it's safety boots, clothing, all your welding masks, your safety gear is all dedicated to one spot, and we know where everything is. So our washing facilities are here on site as well. We have a stainless steel wash sink there. The lads can go wash their hands, dry them efficiently, come back into the workplace then or wherever they're doing. And we also have 2-3 first aiders on site as well. When handling all equipment in the workshop there, it's very important that you know how to do it and do it right, because there's a correct way to working. Even the likes of an angle grinder, just be very careful around air, compressed air and things like that you know exactly where you can use them and where you can't. In any workshop, it's very important there that you keep the grinding, the welding and all that cutting there maybe to one side of the workshop. It's just that if you have sparks flying and you're kind of working in with tractors or with machinery and guys have rags, you know, they can catch fire very simply. So it's very important there to keep that to one side. So we generally have a 3-step tractor check there before any of our tractors when they come in to get serviced before they leave. Again, very simple things like cleanliness, how clean your windows are, how clean your mirrors are, make sure all your lights are working, make sure your steps are clean, things like that. From an equipment point of view then on the tractor, you're looking at handbrake, hydraulics, brakes, tyres, things like that. And on checking your levels, you'll have your oil level, you'll have your fuel level, maybe AdBlue, windscreen washer, brake fluid, things like that. So these are all just simple checks that any of the drivers can make. And we have a sticker there that we actually put on the inside of all the cabs of the tractors, so the drivers can check before they go. And we have seen a great take-up on something like that once it's visible, they will look at it and they will read it and they can carry it out. So along with PTO covers and PTO shafts, just generally to check the condition that they're in and making sure that your PTO guards can come off safely and that they're on safely. There's also your pickup hitches on your tractors, which is one that a lot of people sometimes overlook there. There is 2 different types. You have the hook eye or you have the ball and spoon, but just to make sure that they're in a very good repair, that you have no major wear on the eye, because as we've seen there from before, trailers can come off very simple, and it's one thing that you really should look at. Another thing to mention too is the floor actually in your workshop. A lot of the time during the summertime it can be fine and it can be nice and dry and it won't slip. But in the winter time there, when you get a lot of different heat changes there and temperatures there, because your temperature rises and your floor is so cold, you will get a film of condensation on the floor, and that's what can cause slip. So in here in our workshop we have some ventilation here where actually we have big fans up on the roof space there, which actually dries the air down and which kind of keeps a nice warm environment there. Another thing that we found very useful in our workshop was that we had shadow boards. Now, shadow boards are very simply done, a bit of plywood, put the tools up in it and create the shadow around them. So then you can visibly see what you have on the board, and it's very easy to put it back. So if you have a couple of guys working in the workshop and one that is blaming the other, but the fact that they put it back onto the shadow board, it kind of cuts out all that. So it was a very beneficial thing to have in our workshop. So it's work smart and work safe. That's really the attitude.